Three-time club champion, four-time All-Australian, premiership player, club captain. What a journey for the boy from the Avon Valley. I suppose you pinch yourself when you look back at the journey.
I do, yeah. I mean, you know, when I first started out, Juddy was probably thinking about playing AFL. I was just trying to survive my first pre-season and not embarrass myself. And, you know, I knew where I was at when I first got to the football club. I had a long way to go and to improve. And I had, you know, Glenn Jakovich and Ashley McIntosh and Guy McKenna and some absolute legends of the game playing in the West Coast backline. And I had to do my apprenticeship, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. And the main goal was just to be part of a great team. So when I grew up watching West Coast play, it was 92, 94, that particular era, and I just always wanted to be part of a great football side like that.
Tell us about when you get drafted and your name gets called out and you're going to the club that, you know, was the club to go to, and as you mentioned, growing up with all those idols and in premiership years. Tell us the first reaction to you, the family, your friends, your mates. What was that like?
Oh, Jesus, a long time ago now, mate.
Yeah, I know.
The first reaction, I think, was just shock. West Coast hadn't shown a lot of interest in me during the lead up to the draft, and then Hawthorn had shown a lot of interest, and I ended up being overlooked by Hawthorn at pick 10, and West Coast picked me at pick 11, and mostly it was just shock and then joy, and then I quickly got there and got to meet my you know, boyhood hero in Peter Matera, and obviously I played nothing like Peter Matera, but got to meet him and Glenn Jakovich and Guy McKenna. It was really surreal, but you know, they were so welcoming. Chad Morris and Michael Braun, the younger brigade, took me under their wing, and I just loved every minute of it.
You talked about Glenn, you talk about Bluey, you talk about Ash McIntosh, so they're being phased out, and then you become the pillar at fullback. Were you ready? Did you feel like, yep, that's a big burden because of how Monkey Bread and even before them? Did you find that was a huge burden, that the back line was the key and you were the king of that back six?
Well, I'm not sure I thought of myself as a king, but certainly I'd done my apprenticeship, so I put the hard work in, and yeah, I felt ready to take that on. I probably didn't really cement my spot in the side until my 5th year, and so by that stage you'd done a long apprenticeship. I'd played 50-odd games of waffle against senior man. I'd played quite a bit of AFL football through that period. So, no, it was a slow transition, but yeah, I felt ready.
And you're up against great players. You're at Pavlich, Hall, Richardson. They all had different strengths, you know, speed, vigour, muscle, just basic skill. What was that like preparing for a game, knowing that you were going to play on genuine bona fide star forwards of the competition?
Yeah, every one of them had more talent than me. They were quicker than me. They were stronger than me. So there was a few sleepless nights in there, mate. But fortunately for me, I got to play behind a midfield that had Cox, Cousins, Judd, Kerr. So occasionally it felt like I could just sit there and read the newspaper and have a cup of tea. But you know, so I was pretty lucky in that regard. But no, I enjoyed the challenge that all those great players brought, and you know, I had plenty of goals kicked on me. Don't worry about that.
Oh, yeah, I think you held your own. And the physicality of the game, we just saw a lot of those highlights where the ball was there to be hit and punched and spoilt, and didn't just punch the ball, you took out the opposition as well. Was that a bit of a buzz at the same time?
Not particularly. I didn't do that deliberately. I was just sort of playing the ball. That was my style, and that was probably. I think that we had to go to those highlights because there was not too many others. I didn't kick too many goals. I only kicked 8 goals in my career, so that was probably just.
I was going to say that you only kicked 8 goals. Would you like to run us through all 8?
I can. I remember them so vividly, you wouldn't believe it.
What about the first one?
The first one was actually, when I describe it, no one's going to believe me because I actually got the ball started on half-back line and dodged and weaved. No, I didn't do that. I actually did get the ball on the half-back line, took a bounce surprisingly, handballed it off, got in a chain, and then you probably did see it there, the really odd celebration with both hands up in the air. So that's been in my highlights tape for forever and a day, and it will, you know, it was a great memory.
Oh, nice, yep. Okay, now about kicking the ball in. No. Can I just ask you, how proud, and we just heard from Trevor Nisbet about being captain at a transition time for the footy club and a time to recalibrate, to take that captaincy. Again, do you remember the day that you were pulled in to say, and were you told, we want you to be captain, do you want to be captain? What was the conversation?
To be honest, I can't actually remember how it played out, but yeah, that's surprising. I can't actually remember how it happened, to be honest, but I'm really proud of that particular part of my career. I'm proud of every part. I loved my apprenticeship component where I worked really hard on my game for 4 years and then worked my way into the team. I'm really proud of that time where we were competing for flags and our midfield was led by Coxie and Juddy in that period. And then I'm really proud of that time of the career where I was the captain of the football club and we went through that cultural change stuff. It was a very tough time. We focused a lot on our off-field issues and it really, 06 is often a highlight in my career, no doubt about it, but I do remember 2011 being a particularly good year. We had finished Wooden Spoon year before, 2010. We hadn't had much success while I was captain on field, but we've made a lot of progress off field. And then we come from the Wooden Spoon in 2010 to a prelim in 2011. And I was really proud of the team and the whole club effort that it took to get there. So I'm proud of that time in my career.
No doubt. I'm going to get you to thank a few people in a moment, but it would be derelict in my duty not to ask you, how is the water industry and are you making a lot of money from water?
This is not the time for a shameless plug, mate. I'll bypass that. I'll leave that one alone.
But you're enjoying the change in life?
I am, yeah. I've only just recently changed jobs, just been there for 3 weeks, so still sorting out where the toilet is, when's lunch break, all that kind of stuff.
Nice work. I'm sure you want to thank a few people.
I do. I just wanted to say thank you to the football club. I feel really honoured and privileged to be inducted today. And then, I feel really lucky to have played football at the West Coast Eagles. It's just such a great football club. I look around the room now and there's so many people that have helped me. I can't name them all individually, but whether it be board members, administrators, management, old teammates, medical staff, it's a great football club because there's just great people right throughout it. And I feel really fortunate to have played for the West Coast Eagles. There are a few people I'd like to make a special mention to, and the first one is my beautiful wife, Alicia, over there. As an athlete, it can be quite a selfish existence. Everything's about performance and planning and preparation. And so I'm really grateful that she's been incredibly supportive. Whatever I've turned my attention to, whether it be selling water or whatever, but she's always supported me. So thank you to Alicia and thank you to my mum and dad who just gave me every opportunity in life to succeed. They're just great parents, just gave me a great upbringing, always put their children first, and I'm just incredibly grateful for them. I'd just like to say congratulations to Juddy, loved playing football with him, and then best of luck to the boys this year. Thank you.
Hey, Carson.